Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. Today's show will feature Rick and Dave Mah talking about the food truck wars in Saskatoon, as well as Clay Sparks talking about the business case that he's experienced with cannabis legislation in Saskatchewan. As always, we'd like to connect with you.
Tweet us at Shaw TV Saskatoon. Follow us on Facebook. Check out Shaw TV Saskatoon on YouTube to watch past episodes, or email shawtv10@shaw.ca with any future guest or topic suggestions.
Saskatoon's food truck scene has exploded this past number of years, and two of the fellows taking part in that explosion is Rick and Dave Mah. I've invited them here today to talk about something that's moving around the city and growing in its popularity. So Rick and Dave, thank you both for making time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Randy.
Dave, maybe start with you. The food trucks themselves have lent themselves to a whole level of attraction. How did it come to be that Saskatoon's food truck scene has kind of exploded? What's the history on that?
Well, it's a short season for the food trucks, so I think people really make a point of coming to see them when the season is on. You have about 3 months really of food truck season, so it's very, very short. A lot of appeal to it is all the trucks are different, and so they all offer a different menu, and it's pretty interesting and diverse. I love the food trucks. They're great. I make a point to see all of them every season, but I think the Saskatoon kind of feels the same way. So.
How long have you been involved with the food trucks themselves?
We were, I think, the second or third truck that was out very early. We just rebranded our truck this year, so we have quite a bit of experience running our food truck. But yeah, right at the very beginning we were involved.
And what year was that you kind of came online with?
About 5 years ago now, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Rick, step in and tell us a little bit about the concept of a food truck. Call it a war, but I guess a competition too as well. You've had a number of trucks kind of getting together and sharing their expertise and letting people have fun with that. What's happening with the food truck wars?
Yeah, the food truck wars, it's an interesting concept we came up with. We have a flavor challenge where each of the trucks submit a menu item, and that the items are they're judged by our celebrity guests and determines a winner, and they have the mantle of being a champion for a full year. And it's a very friendly competition, but getting to be intense. They want to win that trophy, and it's getting well known around the circles. They want to be the food truck champion.
How many trucks would there be in the city, and how many are participating in the upcoming event?
In the city, if you count on-street and off-street trucks, there is probably around 14 to 16 trucks in the city. That counts the event trucks. And then we also draw from out of town to our festival, which is good. We have, from Prince Albert, we have like 3 trucks coming from Prince Albert, which is pretty interesting. We have a Bannock truck coming, Baby Got Bannock, which will do really well in our Riversdale location. We have Big O, they are well known in the city, but they're from Prince Albert. And we have Mad Cheddar grilled cheese. They actually won the competition last year, and so they are back to defend the championship. We had 2 competitions last year, so they won one of the events. So they're very popular last year, and we look forward to them coming. And the Bannock truck and the Cheddar truck from Prince Albert, that's their only appearance in Saskatoon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What draws people to the food truck business, first of all, and then maybe we'll talk about some of the people coming. What is it that you hear amongst the
Well, you're asking the wrong person. I was really against getting into the... I grew up in the restaurant business.
Okay.
My family and my grandfather, actually in 1910, we opened the first restaurant in Kindersley, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
So we go way back for restaurants, and my parents, of course, that was how they made their living and supported us. So when Dave mentioned to me like 4 or 5 years ago we want to do the food truck, I said, no, you don't want to do that, because a food truck is just a restaurant on wheels. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah. And I knew the work and the time and needed, and for probably maybe not all that much of a financial gain at the end of the day. When you think of the season, like 3 to 5 months, what's it doing for the other 6, 7 months? It's sitting in your driveway, right? So myself, I wasn't that much behind it. But once we got into it, I love it. I love owning the food truck. It's a different type of business. The food truck owners, we are in competition, but we're friends. We know each other. We're hoping everybody does well, and it's a camaraderie between the food trucks. So it is a kind of a, I don't know, I call it a sexy business. It's a nice business to be in when you're in it.
Sounds like there's a little bit of a family type atmosphere, Dave. When we look at some of the components of what you're doing with the actual festival itself, can you start with where this kind of got the origin and then how it's grown over the years?
Yeah, sure. We started the festival basically for the other food truck owners too, just to have another way for us to get our trucks and names out there and make some money. It started because I used to host amateur mixed martial art and Muay Thai events, and we had an issue with the government, and the government kind of kiboshed it. So I had a deposit down in our old hall that we were renting, and so we were brainstorming ideas of how we can use this hall and not lose this deposit, and then we came up with the idea of Food Truck Wars, and yeah, that's kind of actually how it started. So
you already had a network, I guess, of some owners, and I guess they could opt out, but it'd be kind of foolish to not opt in.
yeah, like this is one of the more successful events for sure for the food trucks. And touching on our community, we have a Saskatoon Food Truck Association is one of our major outlets that we can draw from the trucks. So basically all the Saskatoon trucks belong to this association. So it's very, very helpful to have a company like that behind us. So.
And it sounds like there's a lot of the local residents and tourists that come to Saskatoon. They can find you through the apps and each of your own individual apps throughout the summer and when you're open. But you have something that's been happening, started in Sutherland, and it's moving. What has been happening, and what is it growing into, the festival itself?
We kind of outgrew our old venue, and so we moved it to Riversdale this year. So this is our 4th year. We're basically making this a big street fair now. So instead of just food trucks and then a hall for eating, now it's going to be a lot of craft vendors and a bigger entertainment venue, as well as a larger beer garden area. So we're basically going to be a major street festival this year. So
you have some entertainment coming with the stage that's going to be in place and things like that. What types of things are being planned other than just food? It's entertainment as well.
Yeah, our festivals could be described as eclectic. We've always had incorporated entertainment with our Food Truck Wars, but this year we stepped it up a notch. So we have a hot dog eating contest, which is probably the only one in Saskatchewan possibly. We have a pie eating contest. We have the flavor challenge that we touched on. That's where the food trucks compete against each other. We have a strongman demonstration added this year. We have a street market that we'll be selling crafts at. We have a busker circle, entertainment circle. We're going to incorporate ethnic dancing this year. And also we're very excited, we have two new competitions. One is the Ultimate Hamburger Championship, UHC, and that's tied to charity. So we have Blair Farthing from CTV in support of the Children's Wish Foundation, and we have Cranky from, he's a disc jockey from 92 Bull, and he's supporting Kids Sport. So they're in a hamburger eating competition to raise money for their charities, and whatever money they raise goes to charity. It doesn't matter who wins the competition, but it just brings awareness to the charity. And Saskatchewan Got Talent, that's another thing we launched this year, and it's a talent search. And Bartari, who is our lead sponsor, is donating $1,000 for his prize. And 92 Bull is also sponsoring the event, so we're going to get lots of publicity for that. And we're looking for prizes. Great Western Brewery is kicking in prizes as well as the Bull and Bartari. So it's going to be good. That's going to run Friday and Saturday at our event for the qualifying, and then on Sunday we have the finals.
How do you qualify for the competition? Do you have a panel of judges or?
Yes, we'll have a panel of 3 judges at the qualifying rounds, and the top 15 scores will go to the Sunday finals.
I see. And when we look at the event kicking off, is it the Friday, July 27th, I think?
That's right. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
It kicks off Friday at 11 o'clock. Our festival opens, and it runs till 10 at night. And that Saturday's the same hours. Sunday's a little shorter. We start at 11, and we're going to shut down around 5 o'clock after the flavor challenge is done.
So we might have an opportunity to see Simon Hyatt down there eating sometime, maybe. I'll say that he is or isn't, but
It's
you
funny
never
you
know.
mentioned
Yeah.
Simon. Simon has been a true friend of our festival. He's been with us since day one on the judges panel. So yeah, we'd love to have Simon back for sure.
He's a popular guy.
One
here.
other thing I want to bring up, it's very important this year. Our festival is we're striving to be a zero waste festival, and one of our sponsors, Affinity Credit Union, is taking over that initiative, and we're working in concert with the Saskatchewan Waste Reduction Council, and so we're going to be trying to be zero waste, so a green festival.
Well, if you're making change and making improvements, I think that's the right way to go, in light of everything that's coming on stream with the city. Dave, maybe take us out with, if people want to get involved or find out some information about how they can come down or find out about the festival itself, what would they need to do?
The best thing to do is just go to our website, foodtruckwarsYXC.com, or else head to our social media. So Facebook's a really, really good avenue for information, but the website's the best.
Okay, we'll post that up for you as well.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for making time and sharing that. I'm hungry now just listening to this, but we look forward to seeing this at the end of July, and thank you for your continued involvement in pushing this through so that the whole city and tourism can celebrate the food trucks that we have across the province.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Thank
Randy.
you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.